Hey y'all, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of SW Live, y'all. It is Wednesday, April 19th. We're in the building. It's Wednesday. You got to be in the building. You got to be happy about being in the building. So we are definitely ecstatic. I'm saying we is me. We is me. But we got our segment today, Let's Talk Queen. So we're gonna get into that at about the 6:45 mark. But until then, we're gonna go ahead and start into the show because we got a good segment coming up. But for partnership. So today's conversation, today's topic, today's everything is going to be about partnership. We're going to have a very, very comfortable conversation about partnership. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to have you um, not feeling well about talking to us about it. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good because we're gonna get in depth. We're gonna have a few lateral conversations with it. We're gonna definitely let it flow. So let's have this conversation today. Partnerships. We're gonna get into the quote of the day. Let's do it. What's going on, Twan? How you doing today? Hey, Twan. So the first part of the show is always the quote of the day, and we're gonna do ours. So finding good partners is the key to success in anything, in business, in marriage, and especially in investing. Um, a partnership is an investment anyway. It's nothing. You do not walk into a partnership thinking that you're supposed to just have a complete emotional connection to someone. Partnership alone first starts with respect. So, certain things are going to let you know if you're in a true partnership, and we'll get into that later on into the show. But for this portion, I want you to know that there are several things that make you aware of you being in a real and true partnership. It has you're a little bit more prone to paying attention to certain things because you're not looking at it at just an emotional standard. No, we can't live life based off emotions anyway. That'll be that'll be one of the things that actually set us back a little bit more, don't you think? If we dwelling and making decisions off emotion, I would definitely think that that would set us back. Even though a lot of time, even though a lot of people make a lot of decisions based off emotions, it's not a very safe way to be trying to do business. Um, it's not a way to deal in investment. It's not a way to deal with a lot of things if you're doing it in an emotional standpoint. But for this portion of the conversation that we are going to talk about partnerships in general, but we're going to be focusing on today the partnerships that are involved around building strong relationships, and talk about what comes along with that. That's going to be the main key conversation today when we talk about partnerships. So for now, what I will say is, if you're looking for a good partner, you definitely have to have some quality standards already set up that you seek in those type of partnerships. You being able to say that finding good partners is the key to success in anything, you have to have a key partner. You have to have another person. There are not too many things that make you very successful out here alone. You have to have a benefit, somebody that you can lean on doing certain issues of that growth and development in the partnership realm. And when that happens, you end up developing that trust, those bonds, that the respect grows. It's a monopolizing thing in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Because now we're both able to see the same things in each other that we're seeking, and we can both build and benefit off of that together. So those partnerships make it just, a little bit more on the same realm of making sure you're doing what's right. You're not coming into the situation thinking about self. Whew. There are a lot of issues these days. People make really, really selfish choices. They do a lot of things based on what they think versus what is supposed to happen in those partnerships. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not all based on what a we discussion in most situations. There are times when people take it upon themselves to make a decision for the whole relationship, for the whole family, for the whole body of water that y'all drinking from. They make the decision because they don't feel like they respect your decision enough, your feelings enough to take that into consideration. Because if you're making decisions alone in a partnership, that's an issue. That's a complete issue. Because why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you think that it's up to you to be the sole person who gets to make a decision for the whole relationship? That's such an ego trip. That's such an ego trip. That is such an ego trip. You gotta be ready in many situations where it comes to both of you all having to have an opinion in something. You have to be ready to know that these conversations have to be had. You cannot just be out here willy-nilly making the decisions for the whole partnership. It don't work like that. It does not work like that. I think and these conversations have to be had because people feel like, oh, I'll make the most money, I can make all the decisions. What? And you think that's gonna be a success? You think this partnership is gonna be a success? Because why, if it affects the outcome of another person's life, would you feel entitled to be the only one making that decision? Why? Why would that even be acceptable? So you gotta, the key to finding good partners and the key to success of anything in any type of partnership in business and investment, you have to have a good partner. It's a key. You got to have a good partner in order to maintain good investment opportunities, a good relationship, a good business partner. All that has to be dealing with somebody who's good, somebody who's willing to be able to say, okay, we can bounce ideas off of each other. I'm not thinking I'm the only one right. You just you supposed to be quiet even though we're both equally invested. It has to be a respect thing. And so later on in the show, we're going to talk about ways to let you know that you are in a true partnership, that you are in a real partnership. And if you don't see anything on that list that check off in your own life, you probably need to re-examine your situation. There could be things going on in your situation you don't even know happening because you sitting up here and gave somebody else the whole total soul control. Soul control. Because you don't know how to be a partner. You don't set up and gave somebody sole control of the whole relationship, the whole partnership, the whole business agreement, everything. You just said that I'm just going to put in my money. And if being a silent partner is what you want to be, state that up front. So nothing is to be sought of you. No one is seeking anything. No one is expecting anything. Nothing is coming from that whole containment because you're not there for that. You are not there for that. You are there solely to be a financial exhibit to the situation. You'll walk around the events and just be smiling and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But if you are that partner that is in on the decision making, you guys have to have those beneficial conversations that are going to definitely help you explore some of the things that let you know whether or not you're dealing with a good partner. Because, and you got to know, and a lot of times you do have to know those things before you try to get deep into business with people, because you'll end up fucking up money, messing up money, because you're thinking about the fact that this is somebody who took a risk. But if it's not showing the same beneficiaries, the same outcomes, the same goals, then you might have made a bad business choice in a situation. And we're going to talk about even how you make bad choices in relationships and bad investments in relationships. because a relationship is a full investment, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's money, it's finances involved, it's time involved. Sometimes it's children involved. There are emotions involved. There is businesses sometimes involved. It's a lot of different things that fall under the lines of being in different relationships, different forms of relationships. And the relationships we're going to be talking about today are going to be relationships that you are investing in with your time, your money, and so obviously we're going to be talking about those soul ties, those soul relationships. Okay, we jumping into that today with these partnerships because I want y'all to. We get older. I want everybody to take it serious when it comes to how you're spending your time, where you leaving the value of your time and your investment and your finances in stake. It should be worth the investment. You should not be polarized by another person's ego to where you shut down and you don't know what to say anymore because you've given somebody else sole control over how the whole relationship is ran. And sometimes it ends up happening that way and you don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know sometimes you're not giving up your power until you see that it's no longer there. Because sometimes, you thinking it's love. Oh, I'm just giving love. I'm just, I'm just this. I'm just that. No, baby. You're getting drained. You're getting drained. Yes, you definitely get drained, and you don't want to be caught up in no moments like that. You gotta definitely be pushing for more, communicating more, speaking more, having different conversations with people. You definitely got to speak up. You got to speak up. And and you'll know, another thing is you'll know that your partnership is real because you don't have an issue with speaking your mind. You don't have an issue with communicating. You don't have an issue with being able to say, you know what, man, I don't like that. Let's talk about it. Let's not go there. Let's decide on something else. Let's talk about it first. You know what I'm saying? Where you're not just going along with certain situations just because. And I said that in an earlier conversation sometime this week. I was like, a lot of people just to get, with people anyway, just to say they got somebody. A lot of people are. You know what I'm saying? We're not a people. We're not a population of people who want to be alone and just accept, oh, I'm gonna be alone and be okay with it. No, we're not those type of people. We like affection. We like company. We like having people around. You like being around people. There are things you want to do. There are things you want to do. So most definitely, you gotta, in your relationship partnership, make sure you get somebody who's fun, who has a meaning of understanding of who you are. They're not afraid to accept who you are, be around you. Just so many different things that people have to accept about someone that they're willing to build with. And in order for that to happen, man, you really gotta understand that the only way that you're going to have a great foundation is if it's built off respect. And that respect gonna let you know that that person that you're dealing with is able to accept who you are, what you are, what you bring to the table. And I'm not and when we say that, it's not no financial thing on all of that. We got other things that we bring to the table. Mental stability, comfortability. Like I got a whole list. I got a whole list. But we have other things that we seek because you got to be able to know that I can be willing to, I got to trust you enough to be able to come lay my head on you and not be afraid to let the whole day just fall off of me into your arms. Those things have to happen. That trust has to be there. And a lot of times we don't have that with people. But we are settling in these relationships and we're not getting the benefits that should come with having a true and real partnership. We're not getting those benefits. We're not getting those benefits. So you got to make sure that you do everything in your power to express and give yourself the opportunity to explore what you seek and what you want and know it. So when you come to that, have that conversation, you don't have any issues with being able to express who you are. If you know who you are and you know what you want, you will have no issues in giving nobody else that breakdown of who you are. Nobody. You have no reason to be afraid to express who you are. None whatsoever. So that's a key thing. That's very important. It's one of those things that you definitely want to know that, oh yes, I'm so embedded in knowing who I am that there's nothing that I cannot do to show you who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it. I express it so much about who I am, the world will know it because it's written all over my face. I don't have to hide the demographic of who I am. I don't have to do anything different except for be me. Because the person who I'm with should make me comfortable enough or allow me to be myself enough to be able to show who I am in all comfort. In all comfort. There should be no issues with me showing who I am. Seriously, like, if you're afraid of that, you know it's an issue. So, all right, we're gonna keep going into the conversation. So, the reason many relationships fail is because couples will come together because of feelings and chemistry, and when the feelings are gone, the relationship is over. That's because the foundation isn't solid. Why would feelings be the foundation of your relationship anyway? If you're building something based off chemistry and feelings, it's a sinking tank. You heard. Listen again to what I said. The reason many relationships fail is because couples come together because of feelings and chemistry, and when the feelings are gone, the relationship is over. If the feelings and the chemistry is what brings you together, that's where you have to start seeing what else can you utilize in each other to build a foundation upon. You got to be able to build a foundation. In a partnership, a couple nurtures the feelings forged in a relationship every single day. If the relationship's about finding feelings and partnerships are about proving how real they are. So when you're building a good, strong partnership, you are going to building that partnership is going to actually make you see if those feelings are real. It's gonna let you see or not whether or not your feelings for that person or the feelings that person has for you, whether or not it's real. Why you building a foundation? Trust me. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. A partnership is about emotional integrity. Relationships are about seeking pleasure. Partnerships are about seeking purpose. The relationship is about seeking pleasure, but the partnership is about seeking purpose. And the reason why you can stand on that is because you know once you already got these feelings for this person, which is making you want to dig deeper and deal with them more and want to be with them more. But now you want to start thinking about building a house with somebody, a home, and having in-depth conversations, falling asleep every night. Be their mental stability. If they need somebody to talk to at 6 a.m., answering your phone, having the capacity to know that when I come home because I've had a long day, I don't want to just not be bothered. I want to not be bothered, but I still want to be around you. But you know exactly how much of you I can take just because of the way that I feel. You've learned these things about your people. that's when partnership is instilled. Because when they can't, you can. Feelings don't just do that. Feelings do not just do that. They do not. So you'll know when your foundation is being built and solid on a nice, firm basis because of how you are built working toward that partnership. In the relationship, there's often anxiety, which can be what keeps sexual tension going for some time. And that's because we seek pleasure in relationships to escape certain pain. But the pain of being alone, the pain of rejection, and the pain of feeling unworthy is why we seek so many different things in so many different people or in that person alone. You're not just, when you're building in the feelings, when you're in the feeling stage, it's not always going to be like, I just need to see you today because I just want to see you today. Sometimes that person needs to see you because they need to feel some type of emotion. They need to feel like a sigh of relief when they get in your company. So if that's the case, your job and your opportunity to be that person for them is going to always resonate over anybody else that may come into their life because you're giving them purpose. You're giving them a place to escape. And that part of the partnership, again, is where people are learning to trust and know that who you are is stability. A relationship don't always garner that. It builds toward the partnership, but you already got to see these qualities in a person as you're working in your relationship. That, as I said earlier, the relationship is going to be based on the feelings, but the partnership that you're building is going to test to see if those feelings really real. It really is. When a couple reaches the stage of partnership, they're not trying to escape or fill a void at all. There are no more extreme highs and lows. There is less uncertainty and anxiety. There is stability and comfort. That's what a partnership brings. That's exactly, you're not looking for an escape within this person, because you don't need that. You just know that them being there is exactly who you need in your life, because you guys have built something to get toward that. Seriously, people say they want to be in a relationship, but few couples can handle being in a partnership. You could be in a relationship. There's a difference. You could be in a relationship with someone completely wrong for you. And when it ends, the heartbreak can be destructive to your sense of self. But partnerships can never be destructive, because to be in partnership, you're always working to do what's best to grow and nurture the relationship. And to grow and nurture yourself as well. You always willing to try to be better. You always willing to try to be better, because you got that person that's doing the same exact thing. When you start inflating your ego into the situation where you feel like you are the person who keeping this partnership together, your ego, you like, I got this, I'm doing this, I'm the one that do this, I'm the one that do that. What? When did it become about I? When did partnerships become an I situation? When? I don't know. I have the slightest idea, but I know that a lot of times now people are literally saying to themselves, if they don't want to do it, I'm still do it anyway. But this is a whole marriage over here. Y'all be married and don't even have partnerships. Dead wrong. Dead wrong. Because you don't even want to take advice on it. You don't want to hear nobody else out. You just want to say, I decided that I'm going to make this decision without my partner. How is that a stable relationship? How is that even stable? I'm trying to understand that, because anytime I think about a stable relationship, I'm thinking about some of the things that make a partnership real. That's what stability brings to me. Stability in my mind is you are very, very secure in being able to let your guard down in front of your partner, and they'll know exactly why you let your guard down. That's a stable relationship. It ain't about trusting. It ain't about, lack of trusting. It ain't about toxicity, because you know how many people get in healthy relationships and you don't even remember. Y'all don't even raise y'all voice at each other when you communicate. All that hollering ain't worth a damn. It's like, why are you hollering? Who is your child in the building? That's already letting you know that the respect. That's already letting you know that the respect is very, very low, minimal. Cause why would you sit your big old self up there and think that it's okay to raise your voice at another grown person and think that you're gonna get the response that you're really seeking? Why would you think that? You sitting up there raising your voice, and man or woman, because everybody, it's depending on who you're dealing with. People, everybody don't have relationship issues with men being just the aggressor. And we know that. We've seen all these domestic violence situations that let you know that women are just as much the aggressor in a lot of these situations. But for this particular thing, you have to know exactly who you are and what you want in your partnership. Otherwise, you're going to create some confusion along the way. Because again, we sitting up here fully grown, and we want to act like we're good at being in a relationship, when half of the time we don't even know what being a partner is. We just know we got a man. This my man. This my old lady. But when you get mad because things ain't going your way, you hollering at that same person. You hollering at them. You hollering at them. You raising your voice. You giving them nothing but disrespect. And 2 days later, you all over them and lovey dovey this, lovey dovey that, because now all of a sudden you okay. So your relationship is based on um it's not one of those things where they say I got unlimited love for you. It's not unconditional. I don't have unconditional love for somebody when I'm sitting up here giving them a whole lot of hooting and hollering because I don't agree. Good evening, Dennis. How you doing? That it cannot be a relationship of respect, or it cannot even be anywhere near on partnership level if you coming in doing hollering. Your your love for somebody is going to be shown in how you speak to them. Your respect for somebody is going to be shown by how you speak to them. You're not coming in doing all of that. You don't have the time for that, because in no way, shape, form, or fashion should you feel that the person who you are in a relationship with or in this partnership with is doing something purposely to offend you. If y'all solid, if you solid and you building a real thing, there's no reason for you to question that, right? Ain't no reason. All right. So we're gonna talk about some signs that you are in a real and true partnership. That's what we're about to get into now. The signs that you are in a real and true partnership. And again, this is when I said, if you got something going on with somebody, this is the time to take out your notebook and you write down, and you listen to this stuff. And if you don't hear anything on that list that reminds you of your own relationship, you might not need to start having conversations. Because it might not mean that you're just not in a solid partnership. You guys just may not know how to be in a partnership. And you may have to build and grow together, but that's something you got to be willing to do. You got to be willing to do that, though. You can't be one person that's willing to do it and the other person feel like they already perfect. So I'm perfect. I ain't got nothing to grow from. I ain't got nothing to grow from. Period. So at that time, at that very, very, very time, when you start realizing that there's some things that you need to insert into your partnership or the relationship that you're building toward to have a partnership, it's okay. We should all be willing to accept growth opportunities. We should not be sitting around here thinking that the level that we have made it to is the highest level. If you thinking that, then your mindset already wrong. If you're thinking that the highest level of what you could be doing is in your relationship is where you are now, your mindset is definitely wrong. So this would be something that you want to have a conversation on. So one of the first things is commitment isn't an issue. When you know you are in a real true partnership, commitment is not an issue. Not whatsoever. None whatsoever. And you aren't begging, and this is why I'm saying this. This is one reason why the woman isn't begging for a ring. He isn't begging you to stay with him. You both have an understanding, and it's one that you're thrilled with. Without a serious commitment, it's not a partnership. Do you guys understand that? You understand that? Without a serious commitment, you have no real partnership. Without someone being dedicated and saying, this is mine, I'm willing to go to the extremes of the world to make sure that we have everything that we need. I'm going to support her. She's going to support me. And that's that. Simple as that. So the first thing is commitment is not an issue. No way, shape, form, or fashion is commitment an issue. No way, shape, form, or fashion. 2, you both have the same goals in mind. You have to have had these conversations. We ain't talking about the same career goals because y'all different people. Relationship goals. Partnership goals. You both want the same things from life, which means there's no need to bicker over who gets their way. It's just understood. You both want it. You both understand that there's no ulterior motives or other things negative on the table. Simple as that. Simple as that. Things are even between the two of you. And we're not talking about like, oh, the 50-50 even, it only happened this type of way even. That's not what we mean when we say that, because sometimes your 50-50 gonna be 70-30. Sometimes your 50-50 gonna be 60-40. Sometimes your 50-50 gonna be 80-20. Your 50-50 is not always gonna be 50-50. So we know that for sure. But the things that are between you are even. Is, in other words, it isn't just one person giving and another taking. It's an even partnership. It's an even partnership. You know what you expected, what you're expected to contribute, and you contributed. What that person knows that they're supposed to contribute, they contributed. When you know your person, these are the things that happen. When you know your person. Okay? Okay. You don't stonewall, discredit, or deal with another passive aggressiveness. So, in other words, you just have a real partnership with someone that, if you've ever had a real partnership with someone who is very passive aggressive and then throw things in your face, and you think that's a real partnership, please know, true indeed, that that's an issue. Because say what you feel and mean what you say. Say what you feel and mean what you say. You know what I'm saying? You really have to do those things. You cannot be coming in thinking if you can't talk things out or feel safe around your partner, they aren't your partner. You gotta know that. You gotta know that. If you're afraid that somebody is going to throw something in your face, that's not your partner, baby. Don't discrediting somebody and taking away their disposition of who they are. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. We have to find other ways of being able to garner our attention for how we feel when we don't know how to express ourselves. We got to be able to express ourselves in a different way without making it be a tear down to your partner, because it should, like I said earlier, when you're in a respectful situation, peace, Miss TT. When you're in a respectful situation, you're not thinking about tearing down your partner. You're not thinking about taking away any credit from that person because you're having a bad day. Because more than likely, that person is going to give you all the jewels and tools you need to make sure your day is going to continue being better. That's what they're there for. They're there to help lift you and make you feel better, because those bad days are going to come far and few. But how you deal with your partner on a regular basis is going to be an everyday situation. They're going to see how you treat them when you have a bad day. They're going to see how you treat them when you have a good day. They're going to see how you respond to their bad days. They're going to see how you take their good days. They're going to see if you celebrate them the way they celebrate you. If people are having to keep records of how things go, it's not a partnership. I said earlier, it's even. Your contribution is even because your partner knows exactly what you contribute, just like you know exactly what they contribute. It's even. People consider you proof that love really does exist. That's when you know you're being loved right, being gentle with yourself, you're being taken care of by your partner, because your partner is allowing you to take care of you just like you take care of them. It's a blessed situation when things are real. You don't even realize you in a relationship for as long as you are, and that's why people be like, "Hey, y'all been married that long." People don't even they've been going so strong and happy with each other. They ain't even remembering that it's been 50 years. Well, they remember, but it just passed by so fast for them. Is what I mean, because it's been good. It's been good. They know who they are within themselves, so within knowing that, you know exactly who you are in your relationship. You know exactly, and your partner is looking for who you are in your relationship, because that's what made them want to build that partnership. That's what made it happen. You know your partner has your back career-wise, and you have their back. And that's super duper important. Because if you make a career choice, right, and you don't include your partner, what y'all dealing with? What y'all got going on? When did we go back to I? When did we go back to I? Because that's really what has happened. If you're not conversing with and having that conversation about your career with your partner, I don't care if somebody asks me to take a job right then. I'll be like, hold on, I'm gonna call you right back. This is not a my life situation. I can't up and move nowhere and take a job somewhere without consulting with my partner. I can't do stuff like that. That's not no partnership. That's convenience. That's convenience. You know your partner has your back with arguments with other people. I feel like this was added to the list because a lot of times in relationships, when a partner don't agree with their partner, they'll talk against their partner. If I don't agree, I'll be dead silent before I sit up there and talk against my partner. And the good thing about that is you don't have to work. You're gonna have each other back because that's just what it is. That's just what it is. But you guys amongst each other, you don't have arguments. Y'all have discussions. You're not out in the. You're not out just arguing about anything willy nilly stuff like that. Y'all have conversations. It shouldn't even get to a point of, like I said earlier, raising your voice, think or belittling someone, doing all of those different things that create toxic relationship syndromes within your own home. Now your person don't even want to come home. Just peachy pea on the lips. Now your person don't even want to come home because y'all have formulated this toxic environment because y'all can't even talk to each other. But getting to a point where you don't have any arguments though, that's so big. That's so big. Y'all just conversing. Y'all just talking like real life adults who respect each other. Child, where they do that at? At times you can communicate things with just one look. That's what you telling you. Your person already know what a look means. Trust me, they know exactly what that look mean when they giving it to you because they know you just like you know them. That it's a sign that you really are on the same wavelength. That you are not just lovers, but y'all are just y'all best friends. You can read each other, you can see each other, you can feel each other. You can. It's a constant growth situation within y'all because y'all are filling each other out in different areas of where you're living your life. So you out at a social event, a certain look can mean they're ready to go. Or this, a certain look can mean this. Or like when you're at like a movie, a certain touch can let you know, okay, this boring. What you think? And y'all probably already have the same body language because you're into some of the same things. So those feelings that in the beginning that you built upon to get to this partnership, they were foundated. Now, a lot of times if you just got feelings and it just stay on feelings, well then, you got a little bit more building to do. You got a little bit more building to do because those relationships can go on for a long time and it still not be built, don't have a foundation. It just could be based on convenience. There's so many convenient relationships that are happening right now. The loneliness syndrome is big. So we know convenience is out there. You consider that person your best friend as well as the love of your life and vice versa, as we just stated. That being said, you know your roles and you're both fine with them. And you good with this because it's not like y'all determine what the roles are. It just seemed to just happen. It just fell into place. Because how it's supposed to be. It's not like a rhyme or a reason to knowing why that relationship is that relationship. It's just the respect that you have for a person, dog. I swear to you, the respect that you have when you're dealing with someone, when you're building with someone, when you're getting to know someone on a very bombastic level, it has nothing compares to it. Nothing. Sometimes it's unexplainable. You can't explain why at 4:30 a.m. you feel the need to text someone and they're awake too, having the same thoughts. You can't explain why you feel like you can't finish a sentence without having this person there because they help you in these areas to help you affirm what you're talking about and what you're dealing with. You can't get to a point where you know what you want to eat for lunch, and as soon as you call that person, they be like, I'm pulling up with this. It's certain different things that just happen when you are building a partnership. So because you're paying attention more, And it's just happening because it's you care so much about the person who you're dealing with that you want so many different things for that person until you're not willing to lose sight of not who they are. You don't want to lose sight of that. You don't want to ever. You want to know so much about them until it's sickening to yourself. You ain't, but sickening to yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying that. Not to the point where you telling the person every 3 minutes, man, my boy or my girl got this, my boy, my girl. You know what I'm saying? Like it's certain things that you're only internalizing because this is for you to know about your person. This is only for you. What you study about them, what you love about them, what you learn about them, what you become because of them is only for you to have to know. You and that person. You feel like you can no, I'm sorry. Although you know you can always count on one another, you don't volunteer your love, services, or goods without asking them. So you are very concerned when it comes to your person. You're not ever going to just be like, oh, such and such can do this. I'm gonna guarantee it. Out of respect for who they are to you, you're gonna make sure you check with them first. I'm gonna get back with you. I'm gonna let you know whether or not they can help you out. But yeah, I'm gonna let you know. You've been known to answer their phone for them and vice versa. Now, a lot of times if people don't get they it can be done, they do it, but a lot of times they just out of respect for who they're dealing with, they will not do that. They will not step on any grounds of touching their person's phone unless the person tells them to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times it just won't happen. I've seen that in relationships where that is not just something, they don't have a violation of privacy. They have a violation of privacy standards that's unwritten. You don't even know about it. It's just there. Everybody know that we don't have to do that with each other because we know what we have. There's no reason to feel if I need to, I know it's not an issue, but you don't have a reason to feel like you need to do that. And I know a lot of that might sound superficial to people, but there are so many benefits to knowing that you're in a true partnership. There's so many different benefits to that. Because for one, you'll know the comfort that comes along with that. The comfort that comes along with being in a real true partnership is something that you're like I said, you're working to continue to grow and build and nurture your relationship. You're working to always keep it growing. You're working to always make sure that you guys are both are looking to benefit from each other. And you're going to make sure that that person that you're with is not going to have to want, need, or have to sacrifice anything because y'all got each other back. Because y'all got each other back. It's such a benefit to knowing what a real partnership is, because once you realize what you're dealing with, who you're dealing with, you don't have any reason to question that person. You don't have any reason. You're not looking to say, I don't feel like I can build with you. I don't feel like I can come talk to you. I don't feel like I can communicate with you. Because if that's not already showing in the relationship building, when you on them steps in the relationship, if it's not already showing over there, then yeah, you already know. Why would you continue to try to walk that rocky stairwell when you know that when you get halfway up, it's gonna end? Why would you do that to yourself? You know, at some point that you never gonna make it to the top with this person. You're not. And you're going to keep telling yourself it's possible just because you don't want to give up. But that person done gave up 25 steps back. You gotta take your egos out of it. If you're actually building with someone on a solid foundation, there's no way that you can have ego involved. You have to know when to step back and say, has to be something that we do together. You'll know when those are those times. You can't build a solid foundation with one person. It can't just be you. Y'all both got to be on that level. Y'all both have to be on that level. You cannot think that it's possible at all. At all. So we definitely know that in order for you to make sure that your foundation is solid, is you take those feelings that y'all have for each other and you test your feelings when you're trying to build that partnership. Those feelings are going to be valid to another level. Then that 10% that y'all met with those feelings on, where it's like, oh, at first, I got with her because she's pretty. I got with him because he's handsome. And then I seen that, we got a whole lot in common. Now building upon, we got a whole lot in common. What is do the things you have in common, can those be things that y'all can grow upon? Can those be things that y'all can use to build upon? And if so, now you're looking at your careers and you're trying to balance out where those careers fit with each other. You got so many different things that you're putting into perspective now because you yourself would like a solid partnership. So if you can see it within that person, they can see it within you. They seeing the same things that you seeing if they paying attention enough. If they really want what you want and what you seeking, they paying attention. Don't try to build no partnership on no red flags. You're gonna be easily disappointed 6 months down the road when you done set up here and told yourself that this feels so real until I feel like this is God sent. And now all of a sudden, the red flags that you've seen and ignored are on display every day in your face. Pay attention to all that now. Don't try to build no partnership on red flags. We're not doing that no more. We paying attention. We're not calling sexual relationships partnerships. We're not doing that. If we're not building something and leaning on a foundation that we can actually say this is it. Nah, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that, sugar. We are not going to do that. We are going to keep it real with ourselves. Promise you that. That's exactly where we are in our lives. We are looking to continue to walk a line of healing and no concealing. We really healing. We really walking in our healed selves. We are not around here pretending to be something that we are not, because there's no need to be anymore. There's so many things that have become accepted and unaccepted to the point where even if you feel like walking outside for the rest of the day with your drawers on, ain't nobody gonna say nothing about it. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing about it. Trust me. They're gonna be all for it. Say it with your chest. Yes. For real. They're gonna be all for it. Everybody accepted everything now, man. Everything is accepted. It ain't no reason for you not to be who you are with your person. If you gotta hide who you are with your person, that is not your person. That is not your person. And I mean that on every level, y'all. Do not go into another year saying that you're building with someone and trying to get a solid foundation with somebody and that shit rocky. Everybody else's opinion matters more than yours. You gotta talk. You scared to come and have certain conversations because they might blow up. If a person raising their voice at you at this age, in this big old age, and thinking that's gonna lead to some type of respect, you better get out. It's happiness out there on the other side, but it has to start within. So you got to start giving out and showing your true happiness and being consistent with who you are with yourself. And a person is definitely gonna see that. They're gonna see that. They're gonna see. They're gonna definitely see that you're very founded in who you are. They're gonna definitely see that. They're gonna definitely see the strength and the courage that comes along with you, because that's what made them draw themselves towards you. TT says facts, not your person. You can't cultivate love being your representative. Gotta be yourself. Bingo. Gotta be yourself. You got to. If you start off a certain type of way that you don't think that's gonna eventually fade, that mask gonna fall off, and the people are gonna know that that just ain't who that ain't real. That ain't real. That is not real, and you don't want to be having to start off and be. You don't want to have to be the worst version of somebody else, what somebody else loves. You don't want to have to be that version when you have the opportunity just to be who you are. And if you don't think they're gonna like you for you, then that's not for you anyway. Like I said, it's not your person. So take the mask off, unshield yourself from any of the things that you felt like you were not good for. Any of those things. So we're gonna wrap up the show for today, y'all, because those partnerships, again, like I said in the beginning of our conversation, finding good partners is the key to success in anything, in business, in marriage, and especially in investing. Your marriage, your relationship, your partnership is an investment. It's either an investment of your time, it's an investment of your finances, it's an investment of your sanctuary, it's an investment of your energy, it's an investment of many, many things that can either break you or make you. But you got to be the person in control of that decision. You got to be the person that decides where you stand in your partnership, in your piece, the part you bring to the table. Because it's no I in partnership. It's an I, a literal one, but that's a we situation. So if you're not willing to always make that a we situation, that is not your end game, and that's selfish. You cannot have an ego in a partnership. Take it away, throw it away, put it to the side, bury it, hide it, never go back to it unless you want to be single again. All right? I appreciate y'all tuning in today. Thank y'all so much. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week. Tomorrow 420, do what you do. And everybody enjoy it. All right? Y'all, peace. I'll see y'all next week. Love y'all.